We are now. Do that again. Okay, now I can say, hello everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to Live with Miss Gwendolyn Mitchell, CEO and founder of Moyo Institute. And before we begin, for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about your blog post, which I don't know why I have to scroll up every single time. I should memorize the title. Meditation and Self-Care, a Radical Life-Affirming Response to Racism. And so each week we've talked about a different aspect within your blog post, the 9 steps to disrupt the health effects of systemic racism. We've talked about control what we let in, unravel the messages of self-hatred, examine how you communicate, listen to cues from your body, connect with nature. And today we're going to talk about aligning your sleep pattern with nature. But before we get started, we have a practice now, a tradition, is that you're going to lead us in some breath work to kind of clear our minds, get us centered, and get ready for conversation.
Right. Actually, we're just going to take 3 deep breaths. And so this is, I would call it mini, M-I-N-I, breath work. Okay. So if you're at a place where you can sit with your feet flat on the floor and close your eyes, spine erect, and let's just take 3 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in, hold it, exhale, again, hold it, exhale, one more time, hold it, exhale. One of the things I like to point out is that when you take the breaths in, your belly should actually be extended. Mm-hmm. Most of the time when we breathe in, we draw our belly in, mm-hmm. and we're actually breathing incorrectly.
Really?
Yeah. So when we breathe in, feel the belly as it extends, hold it, and when you exhale, okay.
I gotta remember that in the gym.
And the belly part, that's really just corresponding with your lungs filling up. It's just easier to have a tactile reminder by watching what's happening to your belly.
Got you. Okay. Work on how to breathe. It's interesting how much we just do without thinking.
Exactly.
So bringing awareness to self in the breath work. And I just learned something new about breathing techniques today that I did not know. So in your blog post, you say that the number 6 step is align your sleep pattern with nature. And I always read a segment of it before we start. How many hours do you sleep? When do you sleep? In traditional Chinese medicine, vital energy or qi circulates through the organs of the body in 2-hour intervals. The vital energy in the meridian is at its highest point during these times. These are optimum times to eat, sleep, rest, exercise to properly regenerate the body. And I know you guys can't see this, but I'm gonna zoom in as much as I can. Mm-hmm. And right here, she has a little chart that shows the times that the chi is flowing through the body. So at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., we have the stomach, then the spleen, heart, small intestine, bladder, kidney, and so on and so forth. So go ahead and talk to us about the importance of sleep, chi, and how all of these things kind of interconnect together.
Yeah, and what I'd like to say is, like, right now we're at the heart time. So between 11 and 1, we're at the heart. And I think that's really great because we're sharing. Mm-hmm. Right now we're connecting, and we're connecting with everyone. So the fact that more energy is flowing through the heart organ at this time is a good thing.
Awesome.
Many of us are like night owls, and a lot of that's determined by like when you were born. I was born in the evening, and so my natural circadian rhythm is to get a burst of energy in the evening time. Mm-hmm. And so we tend to follow those kind of natural patterns, mm-hmm. and sometimes they're working for us and sometimes they're not. Okay?
Right.
So for instance, if you look at the little chart that's on your page there, you'll notice that during the hours of
I'm let you talk about just zoom in and come in a little bit so y'all can see the
oh,
chart.
great, that's great. So during the hours of 9 p.m. and 11, the triple burner, which is all about our digestive system, is being regenerated or restored, and our gallbladder follows the 2-hour period after that, and the liver the 2 hours after that. So for those of us who like to binge watch Netflix at night or whatever our programs are, we are not allowing our bodies sufficient time to restore and nourish and regenerate those organs. So one of the things I'd like to point out is that the beauty of the way our system works with all the various Netflix and all the various streaming services is that they're available at any time. So you don't have to stay up all night watching them. You can get some sleep and pick up on that in the morning. But another thing that people may or may not be aware of is like our entire body has light receptors. And so like if we go to bed and we've got lights on in the room, our body is reading that as daylight, is reading that as being time to be awake. And so we don't give ourselves the opportunity to really go into deep sleep. And really the regeneration happens the most during deep sleep. I think most people probably have heard about your computer display. Like if you are watching that, you're getting this blue light, which is really sending messages to your brain. Daytime, 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 you know. And so we are like a complete ecosystem. And all of these things work together. So it's really great to, if you're gonna be using laptops and tablets, to download an app that will change the screen to, I think there's one called Flux. Flux is one, there may be others, that will change your screen so that it actually coincides with the time of day. So that blue light is limited.
And I know iPhones have dark mode now, so you can flip back and forth from having the bright white. I leave my phone on dark mode just because I won't remember, but dark mode is also an option in iPhones for you to be able to switch back and forth between. And it's quite interesting now looking at this, because I know we're talking about sleep, but most people sleep, let's say between 9 to 7 or 9 to 5. During those times, the triple burner, gallbladder, liver, lungs are all being rejuvenated. I work out at 6 a.m., so my lungs have just been rejuvenated for me to go to the gym.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good timing. The other thing is that sleep is the only time our brain gets to really shut down and consolidate things that we've learned and done during the day. So, like if you want to solve a problem, a lot of times people will take a question or like a problem into their minds at night just before going to sleep, and when they wake up in the next day, they'll have an answer or a solution. And it's because the brain actually does something called consolidating at night when we're asleep. And so it can help with memory, help us to learn new things. We're told that the proper sleep can stimulate creativity, but we know it also is an antidote for stress. And, we started this whole process talking about the impact of racism, the chronic stress that has on our system, and sleep is one of the ways to impact stress.
Absolutely. I know we were saying earlier with sleep, one of the things I've noticed is when I don't sleep, it brings on more stress. Because your body is now that this all makes sense. So because your body is looking to replenish, let's say these 12, 13 things within a 24-hour time period, if it's 12 things within 24 hours and you're not getting enough sleep, your body is stressed because it's not recovering internally.
It's not recovering.
And we think it's like, oh, I didn't, well, you're not sleeping enough literally means your physical being is not recovering enough.
That's right. And you know, there's this like a sweet spot. I mean, we have to each pay attention to what our body's rhythms are telling us. You know, if we have bad habits, you can't listen to those.
Right.
You know, you have to start a practice of, okay, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to see what time my body will naturally awake if I don't set an alarm. You need to do that like several days in a row in order for your body to relearn a new habit.
Right.
But there's a relationship between lack of sleep and like overeating, for instance, because we're trying to nourish, we're trying to get more energy into the cells, right? When we haven't had enough rest. And but there's a sweet spot. There's been studies that show that if you sleep too much, it can be just as detrimental as sleeping too little.
How so?
Right. Well, you know, they've just looked at heart disease and early deaths, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, sedentary.
And so, like, you know, like 10 hours is probably too much. You know, it's one of those things like, okay, if I've been sleep deprived and I'm trying to make up for it, you know, I might give myself a day to stay in bed or whatever. But it can't be like an ongoing thing. It's like okay, that's like going to the urgent care center, you know.
Every single time something wrong with you, right? You know? Right.
So it's better to create practices that allow your body to do its thing naturally.
So I heard you gave one tip is to turn off your alarm and see how your body wakes up or when your body wakes up on a consistent basis. What is another tip that you would have for someone looking to get adequate sleep? Not just sleep, but adequate sleep.
So actually, you know, stopping the electronics earlier, you know, just get off that laptop, get off that cell phone, turn off that television. There's some controversy about whether or not television is as harmful, for instance, as during the sleeping hours as like electronics. I would say also eliminate as much as you can these things out of your bedroom. You know, because the bedroom should be a place that's like a cocoon, a place for rest. And these various devices emit EMFs, electromagnetic fields, and that affects our energy as well. And so I would say try to, you know, shut down things. If you've got a power strip, turn it off. You know, just allow yourself to go into this cocoon where you actually can go into deep sleep.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know for a lot of people, myself included, I make sure I don't charge my phone near my bed.
Right.
I put it on I live in a studio apartment, so I put it on the other side of the room, but I try to make sure that there are no electronics within a certain vicinity of my sleeping space.
That's really, really helpful.
Yes.
And I think we talked about, last week, we talked about being in touch with nature. And it's some of the studies show that if you are getting that daylight, like at 6 in the morning or whenever the sun is rising, that also affects your circadian rhythm and it helps you sleep better at night.
Oh,
so
that's dope.
Yeah.
Rising, yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you have for us regarding sleep?
Just that it's a way of letting the body have a chance to regenerate. It helps to diminish inflammation in the body, which leads to things like diabetes, heart disease. It helps to lower the blood pressure and cortisol levels in the blood. So all of these are really, and one other thing you might have noticed is that when you don't get enough sleep, you're really irritable.
Very.
You know, so.
Very.
Angry,
I'm the person that gotta go.
Anger.
I gotta go hide.
Right.
I didn't sleep enough last night. I gotta go hide.
Right.
Yeah.
And anger. So your mood, depression, all of those things are triggered by a lack of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, get some shut eye.
Yeah.
Make it a practice.
It can wait until tomorrow.
It can wait until tomorrow.
It can wait till tomorrow. So thank you, Miss Gwendolyn. I always look forward to sitting beside you. And for those of you who aren't getting enough sleep or looking to get more sleep, make sure you take into account the tips that she's giving you to be able to adjust your lifestyle so that you're healing. Remember, your body needs to recover, your body needs to heal. That one email, that one text message, that one Instagram post, all of that can wait until tomorrow because your body needs healing. And I always say this thing where it all begins within.
That's right.
So if you're not good, nothing else is going to be good. So make sure you get your sleep. And I'm talking to myself as I'm talking to you guys. Right. I went to bed last night, actually. I'm very proud of myself. Good. So that is it for this week, and then
let's give a little affirmation. So
okay, affirmation. Okay. I love an affirmation.
So we're gonna let's see what we can come up with for sleep. Okay. So why don't we hold in mind this week, and we actually can repeat it. I'm nourishing my body with sleep. I'm nourishing my body with sleep. I am nourishing my body with sleep. And say that to yourself before you go to bed. Mm-hmm. And actually, if you start a little bit earlier in the evening, it might be a prompt for you to get to bed earlier.
Look at that trigger.
So, I'm nourishing my body with sleep.
Remember that. I am nourishing my body with sleep. And you make sure to join us next Tuesday as we talk about feeling your feelings. This is my arena. I'm all about feelings. I love feelings.
Right.
They're beautiful.
That's right.
They're beautiful, beautiful thing. Thank you all for tuning in. And make sure that you connect with CoBiz Richmond via IG or our website. We have some great things coming from Miss Gwendolyn in the future. Can't wait to see what you do next. And yeah, we'll be sitting here talk about feeling your feelings next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Stay tuned. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
I am nourishing my body with sleep. Boom. I love that.